Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's lecture is going to be super important and interesting, especially if you're studying English literature. By the end, you'll not only understand the Renaissance but also why it completely transformed English literature. So grab your notebook and let's begin. The word Renaissance means rebirth. But rebirth of what? It was the rebirth of knowledge, art, literature, and scientific thinking. During the Middle Ages, most thinking was controlled by religion. People believed life on earth was just preparation for the afterlife. But the Renaissance changed everything. Now people started saying this life matters. Humans are powerful and creative. This shift made people curious, creative, and expressive. And that's exactly what we see in literature. Now you might be wondering, why Italy? Let's understand this in a simple story-like way. First, trade connections. Cities like Venice and Genoa were very rich because of trade with the Middle East. And with goods, ideas also traveled. Second, the role of Arab scholars. Arab scholars had preserved Greek knowledge. European scholars later translated these works into Latin. Third, the fall of Constantinople in 1453. When this city fell, Greek scholars fled to Italy, carrying books and knowledge with them. Fourth, the Medici family. Think of them as sponsors of art and learning. They funded great artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. Because of such support, creativity truly flourished. And from Italy, this movement spread to England and the rest of Europe. Now comes the most important concept, humanism, the heart of the Renaissance. Humanism means focusing on human life, abilities, and achievements. Earlier belief, God controls everything. Renaissance belief, humans can shape their own destiny. This created some major changes. First, focus shifted from the afterlife wave to the present life. People started enjoying beauty, love, and nature. Education also expanded, including grammar, history, poetry, and philosophy. A famous idea of this period is reflected in Shakespeare's line, "What a piece of work is man." This shows a deep admiration for human potential. Now let's move to the most important part, how the Renaissance changed English literature. The Renaissance first entered England through universities. Scholars like William Grocyn, Thomas Linacre, and John Colet went to Italy, learned Greek, and brought knowledge back. They introduced classical education at Oxford and Cambridge. Another important figure, Roger Ascham. He emphasized learning through classical texts, and his teaching style influenced generations. So before literature changed, education changed first. Now let's talk about prose, that is, non-poetic writing. Erasmus wrote The Praise of Folly. He criticized outdated medieval traditions and promoted reform and rational thinking. Sir Thomas More's Utopia is very important. It describes an imaginary island with a perfect society. But here's the twist. It actually criticizes real England. In Utopia, there is no greed, religious tolerance exists, and there is equality. This book started a completely new genre, utopian literature. Now let's look at Elizabethan prose writers. Writers like Sidney, Lyly, and Hooker were important figures of this period. Their writing style was highly decorative and strongly influenced by Latin. But then came Francis Bacon and he changed everything. He introduced short, clear, and powerful writing with a strong focus on truth and practicality. His essays reflect the Renaissance spirit, ambition, realism, and material progress. Now let's talk about poetry. After Chaucer, English poetry had declined. Then came two important poets, Sir Thomas Wyatt and the Earl of Surrey. They brought poetry back to life. Their major contributions were introducing the sonnet, introducing blank verse, and improving poetic style and structure. These contributions laid the foundation for the golden age of English poetry. Now let's explore the main themes in Renaissance poetry. Love, often ideal, emotional, and intense. Beauty, deeply admired and celebrated. And nature, seen as a source of inspiration and harmony. These themes were inspired by Petrarch, an Italian poet. In Petrarchan poetry, the lover suffers and the beloved is distant and perfect. Now let's move to drama. Before the Renaissance, drama was mostly religious. These included mystery plays and morality plays. But Renaissance drama changed everything. Early Renaissance drama was influenced by classical Roman theatre. Gorboduc represents tragedy. Ralph Roister Doister represents comedy. Both were based on Roman dramatic traditions. Now comes the exciting part. A group of young, educated writers called the University Wits transformed drama. Some famous names include Christopher Marlowe, Thomas Kyde, and John Lyly. Among them, Marlowe stands out. But why? Because his plays explore ambition, power, and human struggle. That's why he is called the true child of the Renaissance. Now, let's quickly revise the key features of Renaissance literature. It includes the revival of Greek and Roman ideas, a strong focus on human potential, a love for beauty and art, the rise of new literary forms, and a blend of imagination and realism. So students, the Renaissance was not just a period, it was a turning point in history. It changed how people thought, what they valued, and how they wrote. Without the Renaissance, English literature would not be what it is today. If you enjoyed this lecture, make sure to like the video, comment your questions, and subscribe for more lectures on English literature. See you in the next class. Keep learning and stay curious.